We're here today with Troy. He's our man in charge of construction and painting within the 365 division. Mate, tell me a bit about your experience.
To start off as an apprentice back in New Zealand, 2008 I think it was, 2007 sorry, I started my apprenticeship. Done that for 3 years, got qualified, carried on building with Burt Free Holdings, doing renovations, extensions, new builds, and it's sort of grown from there. Moved over to Australia and then got into construction and then carried on with sort of formworking, got into concreting, and then yeah, now we're here.
Right, so you've got quite extensive experience then in the industry. How did you begin your journey at 365 Services?
Actually started with a phone call from a family friend. Said they were looking for a builder to come on board, and then yeah, touched base with them, got a phone call, went in for an interview, yeah, and started from there.
Obviously you've been with us a little while and you've stepped up just recently. What excites you most about your current role?
Obviously new skill set, something to put under my belt. Obviously can't be on the tools all my life, even though I'd love to be, but yeah, something different, time for a change, and see where it takes me.
Oh, excellent, that's great. What's the most important thing you've shared with 365 Group since stepping up into the division role?
Not too sure actually, I was trying to think about this one earlier, but
I understand you might not know off the top of your head, but if you did know, what do you think it would look like?
hopefully leading the boys in the right direction and helping the team grow.
Oh, absolutely, I found that when I've been working with you as well, that obviously your knowledge is extremely important for us, especially on the sales side of things and quoting. When you're not at work, what's your favourite things to do?
When I'm not at work, I'm at home working on the house, so it's always work.
Oh, so you're doing on the job training at home.
Yeah.
That's outstanding. Tell me about your kombucha hobby. What's the process for the perfect kombucha, mate?
Well, it's not actually me that makes it. The wife actually makes it.
Oh, the truth comes out now, eh?
But no, it's a good drink. It's healthy for you, and it's a natural fizzy.
No, like me, mate, you're a pillar of health. When it comes to construction, what do you believe is crucial to keep your home in a great state of repair so you can avoid excessive repair costs?
Just maintenance, really. Looking after your gutter cleans, ensuring that you're not getting build-ups of water or ponding or pooling around tiled areas or balconies. Just keeping it tidy, clean.
So you're just saying ongoing maintenance, basically.
Yeah,
Maintenance and keeping it. And the more maintenance you obviously do, the more things you'll pick up.
Yep.
Obviously, we're at a current job at the moment for you. It's quite a large job that's gone through insurance,
Yep.
and primarily because of waterproofing seems to be the major issue from what I've seen. And of course, waterproofing then causes rotting within the timber,
Yep.
and then we've had major failures throughout the building.
Yep.
So obviously we've touched on that with the main cause being water. What's the worst possible scenario with this sort of damage that you've seen in your field of work?
Especially with something like this, is probably like the worst that could happen would be obviously the frames failing and then causing the floor to fail as well, which means the balcony, like if you have a gathering on the balcony, the frames are rotten, it could cause a collapse.
Yeah, so potential complete failure.
Yeah, complete failure.
Right, and that could obviously potentially hurt people, yeah?
Definitely.
Tell me, Joel, how important is it to ensure that the waterproofing is done correctly then? Especially with this job, because obviously we're in charge of that now, so.
Yeah. So on this one I've subcontracted it out, and then that subcontractor uses his licence and gives us a form and guarantees his waterproofing membrane.
Excellent. And how can you tell if it has been done correctly in your experience?
Just the priming, the taping of the joints, the sealing between the sheets, and just making sure that all the debris are cleaned off before applying waterproofing.
Oh, excellent, outstanding. So Troy, you also manage the painting division. How many guys are in the painting division?
So we've got 3 in the painting division at the moment. Tony, Kingy and Stephen. And yeah, All good workers, mate.
We're very fortunate. We've actually got one of the guys that we class as the expert in the field who's just joined us. He's very unusual to get in front of the camera, so we're actually fairly privileged, I feel, today to see Kingy and his big smile, which is quite often a frown, I've noticed, join us. So, Kingy, in your experience, when looking to do painting jobs, what's it like at home? What would you class as tips for the do-it-yourselfers?
A handyman. Handyman. I guess you know when you're painting, you automatically goes back to start from the have a good process in place. You know, making sure that you use the primers and put sufficient coating on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like with the paint, like should they look for specific paints and the properties within that paint?
As far as I'm concerned, Dulux and Resine seem to be top quality paints out at the moment. So yeah.
A bit more about yourself there, Kingy. How long have you been in the trade?
Oh, yeah.
Not giving too much away.
I started my time with my apprenticeship in 1973, so yeah, I've been doing it ever since. So I'm now 66, so...
Wow. So you're the second oldest in our team.
Yeah. And I had my own business back in NZ for 33 years. So,
yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and then decided to come over here for a bit of a change, lifestyle.
So your experience at 365, Kingy, like how have you found coming across to the 365 and the journey you've had so far?
Well, I started off estimating because I couldn't use a computer, so that was me out the door, and decided to go back on the tools. And yes, I've enjoyed it ever since. I have no issues. Well, I do have issues, but I won't put them on camera.
And your team around you, you've got some good guys working with you?
Some good guys,
Yeah.
Yeah, hard workers, yeah.
And what about for the future, Kingy? What do you sort of see for 365 and yourself going forward?
Well, I'm going to stick around for a little bit longer yet, so...
I didn't say, yeah, from our perspective, you're not going anywhere, but yeah. I just forgot to tell you didn't have a choice.
I was going to bring a wage increase in there. I hope Josh is listening to this, but no.
So primarily what you're really saying is you want to probably spend less time on the tools?
Oh, not necessarily.
No?
That doesn't really worry me.
Yeah, okay.
I enjoy
guess maybe
hard yards.
From our perspective, we see you less on the tools and more into running the jobs and providing expert knowledge to potential customers out in the field, like we're talking about. So we sort of see you as an integral part of where we're going in the future. So I hope you sort of stay on board for that. Guys, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Kingy, because I know you don't like getting in front of camera very often.
No, I don't.
And thank you very much too, Troy. Great education for everyone out there, and we look forward to speaking to you more in the future.